What is the difference between an abstract and an introduction? Remember, this is very important. A very good question. A very good question. Nashad has asked a very, very powerful question. Let's change the color from red to something else. Abstract. What is the next heading? Let's see who will tell me the sequence. Abstract, introduction. What's next? Method. What's next? Remember the formula. IMRAD. You will never forget the sequence if you remember IMRAD. Very good, guys. Very, very good. See, just in the first session, you have learned so much. Not everyone knows. You are way ahead already. Results and discussion. Conclusion is optional because usually discussion, last paragraph is conclusion. But many journals have a must requirement of a separate heading of conclusion. And then the references is a must. Now let's talk about abstract 2. So remember, everyone, write it down. Write it down. I'm telling you a very good way to remember this thing, this philosophy. Research article is like a movie. Everyone has watched movies in their lives, right? Although you are not allowed to watch movies for next 55 days, remember? You are not allowed to watch movies for next 55 days. And anyone who is enrolled, who is not going into residency, for next 60 days, you're not allowed to watch a movie. Because it will affect the quality of your paper. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you because I have helped thousands of students. Thousands of students. You don't let any other thought come to your mind. You don't let any other thought come to your mind. Don't let any other thought come to your mind except your paper, except your success. Because if you watch a movie of 3 hours will affect your mind for the next 72 hours to 108 hours. Next 4 days are wasted. You subconsciously get dreams. If you watch a suspense, a scary movie, you subconsciously get dreams. You subconsciously think about it. I watched a movie a few months back, a very upsetting movie, very emotional movie. And guys, I cannot even tell you how it affected me mentally. The next day, I was so upset that how can anyone really do this? Why did this guy do this in the movie? Imagine if somebody, I know it's a movie, but what I'm thinking, imagine if somebody had really done this. And I'm thinking, I'm upset. And my wife is asking, what happened? I said, I cannot get rid of that movie that has affected me mentally. Does that happen? So that's why you're not allowed to watch a movie. But remember, you all know what movies are. So we will use an example of a movie. A research article is like a movie. A research article is like a movie. Write it down. A research article is like a movie. Now, when a movie is released, you see different things, right? So we'll talk about this. First of all, abstract. You should know each part of your paper, what each part means. Abstract, Nashal, write it down. Abstract is a summary. Introduction. Introduction is the first scene, first few scenes of your movie. Okay? Summary, first scene, or you can say, let's change it for now. Let's say, what is the problem? What is the problem? And we'll come to that in an example of a movie. So summary, abstract is a summary. Introduction is the problem. Method is how did you solve the problem? How did you solve the problem? Results is what did you find? Your findings. What did you find? And discussion, let's bring it here because A is nothing, right? So bring discussion and conclusion later here. Discussion, conclusion. Are you all with me? Taking notes? So introduction is a problem. What is the problem? Why are you writing this paper? Method is how did you solve the problem? Results is what did you find? What are your findings? Discussion is what do your findings mean? The interpretation and analyses of your findings. Analysis and analyses are two different words. Remember, analysis is one, IS, SIS. Analyses is SES. It's a plural. Conclusion, the lesson learned. The lesson learned, what is the movie about or the paper about? References is the bibliography, let's say. So let's begin. Now, abstract is the summary, introduction is the problem, method is how did you solve the problem, results is what did you find, discussion is what do your findings mean, the interpretation and analyses of your findings, and conclusion is the lesson learned, and references is the bibliography. Now, how it is relevant to a movie? How it is relevant to a movie? So now just change it to a movie. First of all, if abstract is a summary, conclusion is the lesson learned, introduction is the problem, then what is the difference between these three, right? Now, this problem will be resolved forever, okay? When a movie is released, you see an advertisement of a movie, right? When a movie is released, we see an advertisement, right? On Facebook, sometimes on YouTube, sometimes possibly on Instagram, or sometimes on TV, we see an advertisement of a movie, and that advertisement is known as trailer. The trailer of the movie. Trailer of the movie in which the director shows you what to expect in this movie without giving all the details, just to attract you. That trailer is the abstract. Abstract is the trailer of your movie. Write it down. Abstract is the trailer of my movie. This is a very important lesson. If you understand it, you will never ever have problem writing a paper. Never ever have a problem of writing high quality papers. Introduction. What is the problem? What is the problem? Right? So what is the introduction now? In the movie, when a movie begins, in first half an hour or 20 minutes or half an hour, they introduce you to the hero, the villain, they introduce you to the characters. They also give you an idea what exactly is the problem. Is there a problem? Like for example, movie Lion King. You saw an advertisement before Lion King came, but in the introduction, first few minutes, first few half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour, you know who Simba is, the baby lion. You see that a baby lion is born in the house of the king of jungle, and this king of jungle has a jealous brother who wanted to be a king. Now he's not happy because this baby king, the baby cub, is born, right? And you see other characters as well. So what exactly is the problem? The problem is that this uncle wanted to be a king. Can he be a king? Will his dishonesty and his greediness prevail? Will he win? Will he win? Will he win this war that he wants to have? Or will the truth prevail? That's the question. So we already got an idea from the first 20 minutes that the story is going to be between Scar, the uncle, Mufasa, the father, and Simba, the son. We knew already. And further, now, what is the method then? So, introduction is the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. First 20 minutes of the movie. 30 minutes if it's a long movie. First 15% of the movie. That's why introduction is the 15% of your paper. First 15% of the movie. If it's a 3-hour movie, so you can say that 45 minutes is your introduction. Now, method is how did you solve this problem? Now, method is how did this movie develop? How did you make the movie? You are the director of this movie. Remember, you are not the hero. This is very important. You are not the hero of this movie. You are the director of the movie. So you are telling, if you see the interview of a director of a movie, Mr. Steven Spielberg, how did you create such a wonderful movie, Jurassic Park? Could you please tell us? Now, Steven Spielberg will tell you, what did we do? How did we start? Where did we find actors? How did I convince this actor to work in my movie? How did I find the budget? How did I find the producer? What exactly happened? So how did he solve the problem that is in the movie that he is about to begin? How did this movie come into being? How this movie was created? This is an interview of a director. So your method section is your interview. How did you make this movie? How did you make this movie? Director's interview. So write it down. Method is the director's interview. How did he make the movie? So you will mention what exactly you done. Where did you find data? Where did you go? What did you do? What did you not do? Now, results. Again, it's another interview of director plus producer. If somebody asks, what is this movie all about? Few bullet points of the movie. The results, the findings. That there is a king of jungle. He is killed and his son grows up and takes revenge from the uncle. Findings. This is also the interview of director and producer. But this is only the interview of a director because method is only by the director. Results can be made by the story maker, the writer of the story, the producer, the director, even the actor can tell you the results. Actors can also have interviews. When you ask the hero after the movie, can you tell us about the movie, what this movie is all about? That's the result. So result can be done by anyone, right? Method is only done by the director. Now the discussion, the actual story. The actual story begins when Scar hatches a plot to kill Mufasa. The story begins. Scene by scene, your story moves forward. And you mention everything in the end here. That in the end, Scar and Simba had a fight. Simba wins and he gets his kingdom back. Now, the conclusion, the last scene of the movie, you can mention that last scene here and the lesson learned. What is the lesson learned? The lesson learned is honesty always wins. Truth always prevails. Or truth always prevails. Or Greed is a curse. Lesson learned. And the references, when the movie is over, you see the names of the actors, actresses, the songwriters, the director, the producer. You see the names, right? The end, after the end, after the end, the names come up, right? That's the references. Now, what about the songs? Every Disney movie has songs, right? Every Disney movie has songs. Every Disney movie has songs. So, what are the songs? Tables and figures are the ornaments of your paper, of your movie, are the songs of your paper. If you don't have tables and figures, movie will be boring. So you bring songs and some comedy scenes, right? Some scenes to make the movie interesting. Those are the songs. And in the musical movie, non-musical movie, you can see some entertaining scenes. So this is how a movie is done. So if you understand the philosophy of movie, you understand the philosophy of research article. So never ever ignore the songs, the tables and figures. A paper without tables and figures, it doesn't matter how good it is, the chances of publication are really slim. So tables and figures are a must requirement. How do you draw tables and figures? You look at other people's papers, what kind of tables and figures they have developed. There is no rule. It's up to you, your paper. You want to draw a table of 2 columns, you want to draw a table of 3 columns, 5 columns, 10 columns. Whatever information you want to bring in, just make sure that the table looks attractive and pretty, and the pictures look pretty and attractive as well. And this is how the paper is written.